So let's talk about the Epstein client list and how there's a cover-up involved. Now I apologize because I'm outside. It's early in the morning. I'm walking to work and I figured I would take a few minutes to record this video because I've been meaning to publish this video the past several weeks, and I think this is the proper time to do it. So there's a lot of controversy covering this issue. As you guys already know, we don't even have to talk about it or go into great detail about the case. But you guys already know who Epstein was and what he did. You remember the controversy and the crimes he committed and all that stuff. We don't have to go into a deep review about it. What I do want to talk about is that for a while, the American people have been wanting to see who's on the client list, because apparently it was alleged that Jeffrey Epstein had a client list or a blackmailing list as well. Apparently there was a lot going on there, and I think Trump said that he was going to look into it a few years ago. I think he said that when he was going to become president, he was going to release them, investigate, tell the truth about it. And then a while back, I believe it was in February or March, Pam Bondi had stated that she had the client list on her desk in her office and that she was going to review it. She was going to give a look at it, and that she was going to basically reveal information behind it. The thing is, fast forward weeks and months later, Trump just basically he says it was a hoax. That there's no client list. It never existed. It was just a hoax, a conspiracy theory. And as a result, a lot of MAGA fans got ticked off, and a lot of them, which I think is a good thing, forsook the MAGA movement, and I think they're in like a third party now, or maybe they're independent, I don't know. Whatever the case may be, it's good they left. I'm glad I'm not a part of it. I left it years ago because of this whole issue, the whole Epstein thing. So it was very fishy to me how this guy, well, I already knew he was going to do this. Let me not even say the word fishy. I already knew that this guy was going to do that. Way before I left MAGA, I already knew this was going to happen, where he was just going to bury it. And the reason why is because Trump simply went to Epstein Island. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of commentators, especially MAGA fans, who are going to comment and say, well, you're just making up a conspiracy theory. That's not true. There's no evidence. You can say that all you want, but anybody knows that if you look at old school pictures of Trump from the 90s, he took pictures with Epstein. In fact, he was a very close friend of Jeffrey Epstein. And you'll see in those photos, Bill Clinton is there, Hillary Clinton is there. The truth is, the left and the right are both part of the club. There's no denying it. People try to make it out to seem like it's only Democrats that are part of the club. But the truth is, they're both part of the club. Do your research, and you'll see that both Republicans and Democrats work for the deep state, and they both are felons, criminals. And so anyways, it's obvious that Trump went there. And there's other sources for that. I did see a video on YouTube where, I think years ago, Epstein was interviewed, I guess by law enforcement, and they asked him, have him and Trump ever come in contact with minors under 18? And Jeffrey Epstein basically declined to answer. He says, I guess he said plead the fifth or something. That's very suspicious. Very suspicious. The fact that he won't even answer that, especially when it involves Trump. The question was asked, did you or Trump have contact with minors under 18? And he just says, I'm not going to answer that. Very fishy. I mean, he's just making it obvious that they did something wrong, both of them. So, all this to say, Trump is covering up the Epstein client list. He says it doesn't exist. He says it's he says it's a hoax. But it's real. And there are great politicians who are trying to expose it still, who are demanding that it be released. Even Thomas Massey, which, God bless him. I support him. He's a great congressman. I hope it works. But then again, from what I heard, Mr. Michael Johnson, the Speaker of the House, has basically barred people from releasing those files, I guess. I heard something like that. So who knows? It may never see the light of day. I personally don't think it will, because the truth is, when that client list if ever it gets released, we'll be seeing a lot of people on that list who are very popular, high-profile celebrities, politicians. You'd be exposing the entire club, And a lot of people, especially political commentators, right-wing types, are trying to say, well, Trump is just trying to avoid being killed, and he doesn't want to get into trouble with the deep state, and they're saying he's compromising to avoid harassment or death and things like that. I don't believe that. I believe Trump is part of the deep state. He's just taking orders from those in power, and he's covering up some very vile, disgusting sins and crimes that him and Epstein are involved in. Folks, there's a cover-up. The point I'm trying to make is that you should not trust your government. Doesn't matter who's in power, left or right. You shouldn't trust your government. They all do evil things. We know the Clintons did evil things. We know Bush did evil things. I mean, come on. And it's so funny because we have all these Christians and even non-Christians who will say, like, oh, why would the government do that? They say things like, why would the government hurt their own people or commit such crimes? It's like, that's a silly question. I can reverse that and say, well, why wouldn't they? They've got money. They got power, right? America has pretty much all the influence in the world. Our country seems to influence the whole world, right? United Nations and all of our politicians who are very ecumenical. That's just the truth. It's a silly question to make, to ask about, why would they do such a thing? They would. And my father, I love my dad, God bless him. Rest in peace. He became a Christian before he died, but he even thought the same way. Like, when I used to talk about Bush being the one responsible for 9/11, he was like, oh, why would Bush do that? Why would he do that to his own people? It's like, it's just a foolish question to ask. We have a very evil government. People act like they've never heard of Waco, Texas. They act like they've never heard of Operation Mockingbird through the CIA. They act like they've never heard of MK Ultra. The CIA were the ones who performed MK Ultra on their own people. All this scientific brainwashing, and look what happened. I mean, it was terrible. It was horrible. So no, don't trust your government. Trust the Lord Jesus Christ. Trust the King. He's in control. We answer to one King. His name is Christ. No one else. As much as I vote libertarian, as much as I want somebody from the Mises Caucus to run for president, I'm going to make it clear. I still can't trust any leader, because you never know. You just never know. So be very careful. The left and right is just a psyop. Democrats, Republicans, they're all part of a psyop. Don't trust your government. Trust God. And may God bless you all.